Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Subslide Dubslide, a comprehensive anime podcast. It's your boy Jay, aka Versace Vegeta. I'm here with my dog D. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, Jay. What's going on, people? Back at it again.
Yes, sir.
Y'all know how that goes.
Yeah, man. We coming right off of another good one. D, how's your week been?
My week was kind of cool, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. I did absolutely nothing. Just
the best.
I went to work, man, watching a bunch of Studio Ghibli films, and I think I should be doing that more often when I have free time.
Oh man, it's such a mental reset.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I do think that the youth need to watch that. Like, we grew up on that. I think they should grow up on it too, because it's some heartwarming, important moments that happen in that movie, in the movies, and I think as a child that can really shape you, probably motivate you. So I insist, no matter what age you are, please give them Studio Ghibli movies a chance, man.
Very well thought out stories.
Yes,
very
absolutely.
empathetic stories, right? It's always leading to some character that is able to change someone else's life to you in some way or another, right?
Yep.
All of them have that sort of connection in that story plot. And I really enjoy Ghibli films. What's your favorite one?
Oh, Asuka, Valley of the Wind.
Oh, yeah, Asuka. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that stuck out to me for a very long time, man.
Especially when we talk about mecha stuff, right?
Yep. Yep. By all means, I had to love that one. It's my favorite.
Yeah, man. Mine has to be between Nazca and Howl's Moving Castle.
Another good one.
Yeah, I love the both of them for different reasons, but man, like, first off, Howl's Moving Castle is just one of those, like, to me, I'm like, yo, if I ever have a kid, I want to raise, like, you know how we grew up on, like, Disney movies.
Yes.
Like, I want to raise my kid young, from, you know what I mean? Like, seeing Howl's Moving Castle, learning to endear characters like Sophie and Calcifer and stuff, right? Like that,
yes,
right? Like,
absolutely.
really, really looking forward to putting my future family onto that. But, man, Nazca, I feel like Nazca even has sort of an End of Evangelion sort of feel to it too, a bit, just in the sense of like how the entire world is affected by the events that happen in the story, right?
Yes.
Nazca is one of those. Like, honestly, I would like to, if we were to ever do an episode on any like film outside of what we're doing this week, right? Yeah, Nazca would definitely be one of those that I would want to cover.
Absolutely. Yes. That's a masterpiece. I don't even like throwing that word around, but that is definitely a masterpiece.
Nah, you sure right about that one, bro. I know this past week, man, I also had a pretty simple, easygoing week as well, man. Outside of just diving into Evangelion, I've been watching a lot of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh wow.
I've been watching a fuck ton of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, honestly. Like, it's definitely one of those, like, oh yeah, I love that show, but I come and go between watching it and whatnot, right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
But like lately, it's been like on my free time, I'll put that on and like, I'll watch through those episodes. And good God, talk about like the worst people in the world, bro. The worst people in the world, but just like the hijinks are absolutely nuts, dude.
Yes.
Like, I recently just got through the 11th season, and I felt like by the time I got there, it was like, bro, every episode in this is like killing me. Like, I'm dying laughing here, bro. I watched an episode earlier. Charlie catches a leprechaun, and it was just like, it was a St. Patrick's Day episode, and they're trying to do like a mobile van sort of thing. Yeah. But it winds up that they're like, yeah, like, we want you to, pay with your credit card and do, like, they're trying to do like the modern, hey, like, pay through the app and stuff. And folks are like, dude, can't you just take cash? And they're like, no, like you have to do this through this experience, otherwise you don't get the full experience. The damn machine didn't work, so they were like, fuck it, we'll just give you some free beers. Then it turns up that the dudes are like, all right, cool, like just drop us off here, and they're like, no, you have to keep going with it. They wind up robbing them for their money and dropping them off somewhere. It's like they kidnapped them. Like, what the fuck is this, man? Like, just the dumb shit that they wind up getting into, and the way it escalates like every episode. Like it's so unserious, but like that's the kind of humor I need, bro. Like I need that turn my brain off shit every now and again.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely. We all do, man.
Especially in the world we living in right now, bro.
There's stuff out here, man. Oh yeah, exactly. Exactly. Find yourself something to enjoy and take your mind completely away from this reality.
Hell yeah. There'll be times I'll be watching the show, I'll be like, I'm envious of Charlie.
Oh,
he's such a dumbass, and like he's so oblivious to the real world. It's just like, man, to be Charlie for a day.
Wow, just for a couple of hours. I mean,
I'm saying, like, dog. Nah, man, absolutely love that show. I watched the Super Bowl yesterday. From when we're recording this, it was yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't watch that garbage.
Look, everybody knows I'm a fake football fan. You know what I mean? Like, I watched football as a kid. I'm from Texas. Clearly, like, you don't get to be Texan without football.
It's impossible.
Mission impossible, right? Like, I appreciate the sport. I know what the fuck I'm looking at when I'm watching it, right? But, like, watching football weekly has just not been a thing for me in decades, bro.
I would not recommend if your team is not, like, some world beater.
yeah and even with that, man, like I haven't watched, I can't even say it like I remember the last Super Bowl I watched for real, you know, like before last night. I was there for the halftime show, bro. Like, I think a lot of people were, and I did watch the NFC Championship game a couple of weeks back with our buddy, friend of the pod, Alex. So
Alex.
I at the very least, I was like, oh, okay, Eagles on top right now. Cool. Hopefully they go in and do that thing against the Chiefs. Because, you know, look, I'm American. I'm aware of popular culture. I'm aware of the fact that the Chiefs have been on their Triple H 02 through 05 run, right? So it was kind of cool to see. You know what I mean? Like, my boy Jalen Hurts do his thing and demolish them boys last night. It was pretty nice.
I've been on a no swearing pact for a couple months now. All I'm gonna say is, the Eagles, I can't stand you. I can't stand the city of Philly.
Oh yeah.
Can't stand your coach. Jalen Hurts cool, but man, listen, I did not want any success for you guys yesterday. When everybody's talking about, oh, you rather the Chiefs win? Absolutely.
The Eagles are that bad, bro.
Absolutely.
I don't want to see no happiness for EVP.
Man,
what are you talking about?
Exactly, man. I'm a Cowboys fan. The Eagles came in the picture and they're replicating exactly what we did in the 90s. So that's a little bit butthurt. But I can't sit here and watch the Eagles just win, bro. Are you kidding me? Heck no.
See, I'm just so far removed from my Cowboys fandom that I was like, I don't mind this. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. It's cool. But I could tell you, like 15 years ago, I would have been like, Eagles fan? Nigga, get this off my TV.
Man, I wish nothing but the worst for the Eagles. And like I said, I do not like Philly. Philly fans are annoying. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all are ignorant. The whole works. Come at me. I don't care.
Hell, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has taught me y'all are terrible people.
Y'all are terrible people.
People.
Y'all are inhumane at times, especially when it comes to this sports stuff, bro. So I don't feel bad in saying I hate y'all because y'all really not much of a good place. I'm not even going. Let me chill out because I was gonna really violate the city of Philly, bro.
I'm sure as a New Yorker, you got plenty to go in.
It's a bunch of stuff to talk about that city, but I'm gonna relax, man. Happy that I'm not happy. I just didn't care at all. I didn't care. Like, it doesn't hurt me, you know what I'm saying? But I just really, whatever.
Outside of yesterday, the only birds you'll ever see me root for are the Hawks and the Falcons. Okay?
Absolutely. You're doing the right thing, man.
You know what I mean? Ain't no fucking way. It was cool, you know what I'm saying? To see, like, okay, cool. Like, they got their little thing in. They beat the Chiefs. That was cool. One little day. Only because I'm a non-biased party here. Yeah. Only because. That's it. Outside of that, I don't want to hear about it no more. The halftime show was dope, though. Speaking of things I don't want to hear about no more. The halftime show was amazing.
That was really cool, man. And, I saw, the reactions. And the reactions kind of made me, almost break my swearing pact. Because, again, a lot of people... How do I say it in a nice way? Like, guys are ignorant. I should say, yeah.
So, all right, man.
Ignorant.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just being obtuse for the sake of being obtuse, or like I just really.
And I definitely always believe people are just being obtuse on purpose. Like, I always believe people are being obtuse on purpose.
I really do, man. And like, again, for the message that was being displayed, you know what I'm saying? Uncle Sam, Samuel Jackson, man, all, like, it's a lot. And I'm sorry that y'all didn't really, like, catch on. I mean, I feel bad if you didn't catch on because it's obviously in your face. You're 40 acres and a more. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, it's a Kendrick Lamar performance. On. So, for as much as people don't want it to be, it is deep. There is as deep as people are saying it is. I would say there's even those that are going too far with how deep it is, right? It's on both sides of the spectrum, right? There are people who are just completely ignorant and they don't know what they're looking at, and they don't get the messages being sent. And then on the other side of the spectrum, there are people that want the message to be something that it's absolutely not.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I feel like if you are in tune enough with Black American culture, and I know a lot of people are
definitely not, unfortunately.
But if you are in tune enough with what it really is and what it really means, right?
That was beautiful.
That was a beautiful performance to me. That was a great performance to me. And I'm not even talking like to me, that performance really ain't got nothing to do with the beef. Like there's parts that are referring to it because the song is about it, right? Yeah, bro. But I don't think that the song that Not Like Us, the most popular song in the country last year, one could say in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
For him to build up to a performance of that song doesn't mean that the entire performance was about that song.
I think they know that. I just think that they gotta get the agenda off, which I get it, man.
Because for a lot of people, it does. The beef is all that there is.
But
you know what I mean?
It's crazy on both sides the way how y'all be.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, on both sides. Like
both sides, bro.
I am a fan of Kendrick Lamar who, quite frankly, is not going to turn off Drake's music every time I hear it. Right?
No, absolutely not. Drake got some slaps, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm still listening. Rap beef, like I said last year, man. Rap beef to me, man.
It's good. It's healthy. If nobody's dying, it's great.
It's cool. It's two people going at it, but it do get corny. And y'all, it's not even them making it corny.
Yes.
On top of whatever the lawsuit stuff, that's a little bit crazy, but nonetheless, the fans, y'all are just dragging it, bro. It's about to be almost a year since this happened.
Yeah.
Please let this go, man. It's
and
okay.
It's like,
it's
I
okay
understand.
For people to lose, man. It's okay.
Yeah. I understand talking about rap beefs, like, bro, like, yeah, people still talk about Nas and Jay-Z to this day, right? Yeah. That's fine. But like, have something to say that's not just a repeated opinion that you read or heard on a video that you really liked and you decided it was now your own thoughts. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear that.
That's mad annoying.
Yeah.
Like y'all are, man, y'all look like crazy people.
Yeah.
Realistically, y'all look like crazy people. I'm sorry if you did not look in the mirror and saw that.
It's okay to not prefer some shit. It's okay to say one thing is for you, one thing's not for you. Like, hey, that's why Coke and Pepsi exist, bro. But at the same time, like, let's not go around and being like, worst Super Bowl halftime performance I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, ain't watching.
Like, I was like, damn, nigga.
Y'all ain't watching. Like, come on, bro. Y'all not, like, it's not. Listen. Let me tell you this. Rap, very, 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 very hard to perform in places like that. Yeah. And it still conveyed a great message. So I'm still like baffled, like, oh yeah, the Pop Out concert was better. Like, yeah, that was 2 hours uncensored.
Yes, exactly. He got to perform like a whole set. He was the performance that night, by the way.
Yeah, bro. He's like, come on, the event. Obviously, the Super Bowl, you're not going to be bigger than the Super Bowl, bro. I'm sorry, you're not. And that's fine. But the response, oh my God. Especially the people that want, Lil Wayne should have been like, shut up, bro. Because you know who all them paying fans in them like, first of all, do you know how much Super Bowl tickets cost? Right? You think any Lil Wayne fans are like a big percentage of Lil Wayne fans are in there? I would think it was big, like size of Kendrick fans. Like,
and this is what I don't understand about when people talk about like, like the performer for the halftime show needs to be a local artist. You do realize that the Super Bowl is not a local crowd, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
Same as like WrestleMania or like the World Cup or anything like that, right?
Mug.
It's the whole world is flying there to see it live. It's not just people that live there that are seeing it live. The whole world is watching it at home. Right? So it needs to be a performance that translates to the whole world. And when the whole world is listening to a specific artist, why would you not?
You capitalize, bro. Unfortunately, if you don't like the man, too bad. He's hot. He was hot. His run, he's on a crazy run. So of course you're gonna put him on. Are you stupid? Bring in Lil Wayne. I like Lil Wayne when I was growing up, bro. I don't think Lil Wayne would fit the Super Bowl. I don't care if it was in NOLA. What?
Not at all.
What does that mean? That don't mean nothing, bro.
The people yearn for nostalgia, bro. That's what it is, man. The people yearn for nostalgia. I understand, like, yeah, if you're watching the Lil Wayne a Millie video and you're watching him walk through the video and you're watching him do raps and you're sitting there thinking, why couldn't I have got this last night?
Bro, he can't he can't.
Remember, you're watching a music video that was edited, recorded,
bro,
from 2008.
Bro, he can't.
Whole different version of this nigga.
Yeah, bro, he can't. Bro, man, do y'all see the state Lil Wayne in? And I rock Lil Wayne.
Y'all saw the Jey Uso entrance at WrestleMania last year. Y'all saw that. Y'all saw that, man.
My man he's washed, and that's me being nice, man.
And that's okay.
It's okay, but. Y'all wanted that? Like, you should be gonna perform. I don't think he had the breath to handle 5 minutes of doing the performance.
Me neither.
Oh, man.
And you know what, man? Like, the thing is like, people, we just live in a world where everything is black and white, right? Like, you can't see something and then say like, oh, this is what it is without someone making the false equivalency to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for a lot of people, it is going to be, oh, we got this. Why didn't I get this? When really it's just like, hey, yo, this is what we got. This is what happened. This is what's going to happen. That is what it is.
Nonsense.
But moving past that.
Yeah.
Just recently, a interview with the producer of Dragon Ball, Akio Iyoku, came out. And he went into some discussion about the pre-production planning for the current anime series Dragon Ball Daima. Akio Iyoku made a few different points within that interview that I thought were pretty interesting. And I wanted to just get your thoughts on this so we can discuss this together here.
Absolutely.
It does mention that 6 years ago, during Dragon Ball Superheroes production, they decided that they were going to do a new TV series. And at first, Toriyama's involvement was going to be minimal, but he really got into it, creating most of it in the end.
Oh, yeah.
Iyoku says that Daima was intended as a show that parents could watch with their children, so it was made to appeal to both kids and adults in their 30s who were watching Dragon Ball GT when it first aired. So obviously they were attempting to appeal to that same sort of sense of having Goku as a child character as we got in Dragon Ball GT, right? While making the series, Goku was made to be a kid so that way the series could be accessible to a wider audience, but Toriyama decided to turn the entire cast into kids too, because he was concerned that people wouldn't know Dragon Ball story. We got that overview at the beginning of each Daima episode to sort of, remind people that this is just a continuance of that legacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really cool that, they got the time to sort of like flesh things out. It does mention at one point that the production was very similar to like the original anime where the entire story hadn't been fleshed out by the time the production began. But since the production of this series had gone on like way early, that never really affected the anime's production as a whole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does mention little details like how people with pointed ears were originally coming from the demon realm, and how Iyoku believed that Toriyama had that vaguely in his mind for a while, and how he didn't just come up with that for Daima's sake, which I would believe too.
I believe that.
Considering a lot of the basis for Daima was found in old Daizenshuu guidebooks, right? When he explained the demon realm and how that worked. All of that came to Daima.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it ends with Iyoku saying that he wants to expand Dragon Ball. He thinks it will be loved even 50 years from now. I agree.
I agree too, bro.
He's not specific on future plans, but he concludes by saying Daima's climax will be both predictable and unpredictable in parts, and that rewatching from the beginning afterwards will heighten the fun. I think it doesn't say too much that we didn't already know, if you got common sense. But one takeaway that I get from this, if you've got common sense, you can understand that we're paying homage to GT.
Yes.
And this isn't just GT again. And I want to point that out because for the longest time, since before the show came out?
Before it came out, when they saw the little image of Goku as a child.
Through its entire run thus far, every week for the past 17 weeks, this is just GT. This is just GT2.
This
funny. Is GT all over again.
That is not funny.
I don't understand how we... I do. People are hyperbolic. I do understand it. But it's just like, why do we gotta do this, man?
You know
why is it that it can't just be, hey, GT came out 30 years ago, so obviously it's time to pay homage to that. And instead it's like, we're getting GT again, and then when we get fights like Goku and Super Saiyan 3 and stuff like that, then all of a sudden it's like, oh man, this is the greatest stuff ever. Yeah, man, oh my god, this is the shit.
Again, y'all just like smash, key blast, punch, transformation. That's all y'all like.
I don't understand, bro. I don't understand.
Y'all are kind of, y'all different, bro. Legitimately, if you came strictly to watch Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball essentially to you is just the fight only, bro, that's like, man, listen, I find that kind of dumb, but I guess, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's good animation. Like, I like Goku himself plays one of my favorite fights. You think I'm just head strictly into that fight and just care about that fight alone and not exactly how we all came to be? Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? Like, everybody brings up the word lore and all of this.
Yeah.
And I don't really care about none of that, man. I see the J. I bet see the J.
And it's like, man, why can't... I understand that people are always going to make comparisons to things, but
they stupid.
Why do we have to tie the legacy of one show that was produced just by the film studio without Toriyama's direct involvement too much to a product that we're told from the jump Toriyama's last story?
Well, yeah, it's his last story, meaning it ain't like, from the minute I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm great, because I know that Toriyama's gonna make garbage. But apparently, like, it still got the GT stench on it for whatever reason, because the kids are little.
And the thing is, dude, I would say that Daima, without the characters being little, would be mid.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because if you structure all these fights the way that they go in the show is structured around these characters are smaller, so they have to work around their limitations in order to get through these battles, right? We understand that Goku and Vegeta are already powerful characters.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing them do these feats in smaller bodies is going to be just that much more impressive.
I thought people would understand that, but apparently not. So here we are. I feel like some of the most simple, explainable, like some of this stuff does not need to be explained, and it's still being explained. And it's kind of getting to that point where I'm gonna just start saying that y'all are not, right. And I don't want to do that.
I don't want to have to do that either. But that is where I feel like it's coming to at this point, bro. Because
y'all are giving me that vibe.
Folks are just reactionary.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, they are. And
that's what it comes down to, dude.
Man,
people are reactionary.
And they stand wars over, like, oh yeah, this son, like, shut up, bro. Just shut up. Like,
and we'll come back to this topic in like a month. But when Super Saiyan 4 doesn't happen, and people act like this whole series was mid because they didn't get their wish fulfillment, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Me too. Me absolutely too.
Because me personally, as a fan of what Dragon Ball really is, I'm enjoying Daima. We've only got 4 weeks left, and 3 weeks left at this point.
3 weeks,
and I'm pretty sure at the end I'm gonna be like, "Wow, Daima's one of those. Wow, great Dragon Ball story.
Yeah,
you guys did it."
Listen. I've been enjoying it, taking it for what it is. Love the lore. I like the characters. For me, that's always a solid thumbs up. It's not a masterpiece, but it's very enjoyable. And trust me, we've seen bottom of the barrel Dragon Ball stuff, bro. This ain't it. That's not it at all. Bro, I told y'all last week, I watched GT, man. GT was not fun. Daima, I did not experience half of the stuff that I was complaining about while I was watching GT. So, I mean, again, it's a terrible talking point, but y'all sticking with it apparently, even though it's not true. So, we'll let y'all have it. You know what I'm saying? We'll let y'all have it. I think it's stupid, but again, I'll let you have it. That's your talking point, that this is GT2 and they're just stalling super and all of that. I'll let you have that. Ignorance is bliss.
So many different series will reshape the way you look at life.
Oh, absolutely.
And the series that we're going to be discussing this week, Neon Genesis Evangelion's finale movie, End of Evangelion, is one of those. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a movie that I know the both of us have watched throughout many different periods of our lives, and it's meant a lot to us in different ways. It's a movie that will absolutely wreck you emotionally if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's Neon Genesis Evangelion in of itself. So this week we will be glad to cover one of my favorite anime battles, Asuka Langley in her Evangelion Unit-02 against the mass-produced EVA series. Yes. But you can't talk about that fight by itself because that is just halfway into the movie.
Just halfway into the movie. It's a lot going on. She's damn near incapacitated for like the path. So I mean, like, again, you can't really just say, "Oh yeah, this fight really impossible." Yeah, gotta show you how we got here.
So this is our sneak episode about End of Evangelion, the movie. Yeah. We're going to be throwing y'all in the deep waters of Evangelion. My apologies if there's a lot to swim through, but don't worry, we'll keep a life raft on hand.
Absolutely.
So this week, we are so glad to be able to get into a series that has been with us for so long and has stayed with us in so many different ways throughout our lives. Tune in after the break as we get into the End of Evangelion and the battle between Asuka Langley and the mass-produced EVAs. Tune in after the break.
For who would lose? Though full of pain, this intellectual being, those thoughts that wander through eternity, to perish rather, swallowed up and lost in the wide womb of uncreated night.
The fate of destruction is also the joy of rebirth.
The battle has been joined. With a host of EVAs under their direct command, the military might of the SEELE organization stands poised to wrest control of NERV's greatest achievement, EVA Unit-01. It alone holds the key to humanity's final fate. But the ultimate choice to cast off the world we know rests with one young man. Beyond jealousy and betrayal, beyond hate and desire, beyond pain and death, lies the ultimate revelation. The final choice. The end. Manga Entertainment presents the highly anticipated conclusion to the Neon Genesis Evangelion saga.
Mercy, we have begun third impact.
The End of Evangelion.
It all returns to nothing and is about to start tumbling down.
Oh man, chills. Just from saying that line alone, got chills, bro.
This fight is one that cannot be so succinctly wrapped up into a bubble as others in this season can, right?
Yeah.
While other battles in this season, you could take that moment and say, oh, this is very defining for that character, and we can look at that in a bubble and just focus on what happens that leads to it in that, this is such a central piece in what happens for that entire movie.
Yeah.
And for what happens for the story, that I'm sorry, I can't just talk about this fight.
Yeah, you
and just leave
can't
it at
talk
that.
about the fight. If we talk about the fight, literally, we'd have a nice little 11, 15-minute podcast episode.
Serious.
I would just be real.
No, you're absolutely right, man. Because like that's
bro.
one of those things where it's like, okay, if we were just talking about a fight, it would be like, yo, wow, that was really awesome until it wasn't, and then it got really brutal, and then the end.
Yeah, that's like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't do that. We have to talk about at least a big chunk or a good portion. I'll say that.
So Neon Genesis Evangelion in and of itself, right? This post-apocalyptic sci-fi anime is one that stands the test of time. Like this is a influential series that, hell, when it came out, really deconstructed the genre for mecha, for anime.
What, bro? Yes.
After the fact has had that impact, even with the rebuild movies that have come out since, right? It's been something that is, people have very deep emotional connections to this series.
Yes.
And it's because you if you watch this and you put any time into really like trying to get what it's giving to you out of it, you will be deeply connected to Evangelion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's your history with the franchise as a whole, man?
05, scrolling through forums, and back then everybody had their top 5 series that they would always talk about. Berserk would be in there. Lane would always be in there. What else? Because there's so much. Like there's a image, like there's like a little meme was like, oh, the snob starter pack.
Yeah.
Where like all the like critically acclaimed anime, and that's Neon Genesis. I found that out. Should I have been watching at the time? No, I guess so, because it was still cool. Like, bro, I like sci-fi and I like mechas, so it's like great. Watch that, bro. I did not expect to be getting hooked to like just the story being told. Although I could not relate to Shinji at that time of my life, I was like, dang, bro, I ain't never seen a character go through this. Like, I've seen characters get beat up, right? But Shinji, like, he's just trapped in a situation that I don't know how to save him. Like, there's no way. If I was writing this story, how do I save this man? Because he is stuck as a yes man. The whole getting the robot Shinji memes.
That's his life, for real.
That's his life, bro, and that's his purpose, essentially, and that sucks. So that aspect, it really, really caught me. It's so reminiscent of Mobile Suit Gundam with Amuro and his struggles prior to like getting the hang of, piloting the Gundam, but. No, this is a little bit more extreme. At least with Amuro, there was a little tiny bit of hope. There was some care and just love thrown at him. Shinji for the first 10 episodes? Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
You're here for a reason, go do it.
Yes, man, I felt bad, bro. I felt bad. Absolutely bad, bro. And his father, when y'all be talking about terrible anime dads, dude, and y'all be bringing up the Gokus and all that stuff, I just laugh because there's no way,
y'all
bro.
clearly ain't ever heard of Gendo Ikari.
There's no way, bro. A real terrible father is Gendo Ikari. Not even like I'm just realistically, he is probably the worst. For what he's done, for just the way how he treats his son,
It's him and Show Tucker, bro.
Yeah,
It's him and Show Tucker.
It's definitely
one A and one B.
Yeah, man. They definitely rivals when it comes with, bro. Because one day Gendo got it, the other day Show got it, but Gendo, man, I was watching the second Rebuild movie, bro.
Yeah,
and went, oh my gosh, with the dummy plug and the evil one, and Shinji's like pleading, bro, like please stop, and I'm like, and he's just doing, Gendo's little stupid pose.
Yeah.
Look, I'm like, bro, this is insanity. This man is heinous. But yes, that whole experience with Neon Genesis Evangelion, man, just randomly stumbling apart. I wanted to be down, I guess, and see the top best of the best series, man. Because if you say it's really the best, I will sit there and I will take my time. Who doesn't want to watch some of the greatest stuff?
Yeah.
Watch the series. Amazing. The ending, okay, cool, a little bit beautiful. Congratulations with the plotting. If you watch the Japanese version, really beautiful, bro. And then I stumbled upon there's a movie, and usually anime movies, bro, they don't have like any consequence to the canon. So I'm sitting there with the conception, like, especially during that time, because I've been hip to Dragon Ball movies. I'm like, yo, this is not affecting the canon. We've watched a bunch of shonen animes, only realistically movies that really have a big impact in story timelines, usually the Gundam ones. So I'm like, Gundam is this, but like they had to end. It had to be a conclusive end to the timeline. With this, I'm like, yo, episode 26. That's the end, right? No,
not
end of
that's just a piece.
End of Evangelion, bro. I swear to God, dude, my mouth was wide open. Just from the first 20 minutes. Just the first 20 minutes. I'm so baffled, because what ended off on a great high note on episode 26, this is the exact opposite. Like stuff it gets real, bro. It gets bleak. Shinji, I'm feeling like Shinji watching it, because it is over, bro. It is over. Everybody, it looks like it's gloom and doom. They about to get done in. This movie is just like, it's really tough your first go. If you are not used to the style of bringing a little bit of guts and gore to bring hammer in a point, it's gonna be tough, bro, because ain't nobody prepared. Like, ain't nobody prepares for that. I didn't prepare for that. I didn't prepare for the man. We all know the scene. If you didn't watch the movie, we all know the scene. Man, you hear that song playing, bro? I to this day, it gives me chills, bro. It gives me chills.
And that's exactly. You just wrapped up how my experience was for it too, right? For me, it was a little bit different. I'd always been aware of Evangelion, much like you, right? Where it was like, oh, okay, I know this is one of those ones. I had just never seen it. Fast forward, it's 2009, and I'm working at a game store. One of my regular customers and good friends there was like, yo, you've never watched Evangelion? I'm like, yeah, nah, man, I've always wanted to watch it, but I've never seen it. He's like, all right, bro, no, come by after work, bro. We watching Evangelion, right? So we sitting there, we talking. He puts on. He's like, you know what? I know what kind of stuff you like, so I'm gonna tell you what. We're gonna watch Death and Rebirth of Evangelion to get you just kind of up to speed. I'll let you know if there's any, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me know if you got any questions. But then we're going to watch the movie. Because Death and Rebirth is basically just a recap of the TV show.
Yes.
And he was like, go ahead and watch the TV show after that. But it's the movie you really need to see.
Absolutely.
The movie. So, you know, I'm watching it, and from the jump, I'm like, huh?
Yeah, bro, it's such a whiplash, man.
Huh?
Like,
What's
bro,
going on here?
we had a good moment in episode 26. What's going on?
What's going on here?
Oh, just classic.
My man was disgusted with himself.
Bro, yeah.
You know how the End of Evangelion starts. You know how Evangelion.
Bro, that's what, bro. Like I said, my
I
mouth
was
was
like, whoa.
I said, wow.
We're doing a lot here. And the movie just goes into it further. And honestly, I remember the thing that stuck with me the most, outside of just the instrumentality scene and, you know, calm sisters playing over that, was Asuka's battle with the mass-produced EVAs, the EVA series. It was, I'd never seen a mecha battle that, first off, I didn't know at the time that Hideaki Anno was such a big fan of Ultraman and Tokusatsu. So seeing a mecha series that's produced in a way where the battles are staged like Tokusatsu fights, like that stood out to me. I was like, whoa, like this is like, everything is like kind of like it's like a set, like the way a Tokusatsu fight goes. So I thought the fight looked really dope when Asuka was beginning the fight, but then as it went further and then the mass-produced Evangelion showed up, I was like, this is one of the most like whiplashes, like emotional whiplash moments in a movie ever.
And nobody expected that. I'm telling you, I didn't expect that.
So obviously, me being in my early 20s at the time, I dove deep into Evangelion from that day forward, right? And this isn't a day and age where you can just go to YouTube and get like some video essays takes. Like, nah, you got to do the research yourself, buddy.
Nah,
so I watched the whole series after that, and I revisited the movie. And I got to tell you, there was a period of time from like 2009 through like 2013 where I probably watched End of Evangelion like once a month. Every month.
Wow.
Like I would show the movie to friends of mine that were familiar with Evangelion, friends of mine that had seen it before, and it would just be like, yo, like, no, like, look at this shit, man. Look at this shit, man. Like, it's insane. And it's because not only do you have these events that are very dramatic for the characters, but the way the movie makes you feel.
Well, yes. Yes.
You come to this form of acceptance with your, if you have any empathy in your heart at all, right?
Yeah.
The characters are being basically like just their entire personalities are being broken down right before you. And their entire motivations are being just deconstructed and recombined. And look, I could tell you about it and how it impacted me, but I would rather go into the movie. So,
absolutely,
we have to sort of set the stage before we can even get to the fight here, right? Where End of Evangelion picks up, it basically is a director's cut for episodes 25 and 26, right? When you're watching the TV series, those events that you're seeing are the mental experiences of Shinji Ikari. And I know that's going to sound weird,
but it's the truth.
By the time we get through what happens in this movie, you'll have at least a better grasp on how that even is a concept here, right? Mm-hmm. When you see the movie, these are the actual events that are taking place. So it's pretty wild to see how this all comes into place, because from where the TV show had just basically left off, Shinji is extremely comatose almost.
Bro, an understatement.
In one episode, episode 24, Shinji is introduced to the first person that has ever come up to him and treated him like a person and just accepted him from the start.
Mm-hmm.
That being Kaoru, right?
Oh, God.
Kaoru is an interesting character because in terms of the series, you're introduced him as like, oh, he's just like another pilot. He's here to replace Asuka because she's depressed from an extreme battle with one of the angels that they had recently fought against. She's just undergone quite possibly an entire mind fuck.
Yeah.
Because from the last time that she battled an angel, it was these angels are. Oh God, I had to go into the deep lore. The angels are aliens. Okay, that's just the angels are the enemies of the weak. Okay, yes. All right. The monster that comes down from space and they got to fight in a robot. That's what the angels are. Okay, and the last one that Asuka fought basically made her experience her entire life and all of her traumas in one go.
Yes.
And she's reeling from that. So she isn't able to synchronize with her Evangelion. That's their giant mech that they pilot. Whenever a pilot uses an Evangelion, they have to be emotionally and spiritually synced with it. Yes. There's a whole thing there, right? Mm-hmm. But basically, she can't get in the robot.
Yeah, she definitely cannot.
So Kaoru gets really close to Shinji, and you find out Kaoru's the last angel. Kaoru, this young boy.
This young boy, you think, man, somebody positive for Shinji. Can't believe it.
Turns out he's the last angel, and he's been sent to merge with Adam. Adam is basically the progenitor of the angels, right? Yeah. Stay tuned for the eventual sequel to this episode where we go into Evangelion deep lore, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that this would be a 3-hour episode. Okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, just trust me. Just trust me. Just nod your head and be like, "All right, Jay," and like maybe look up these things while you're listening. Right? Mm-hmm. Basically, if Kaoru is to merge with Adam, then the angels will be able to just get rid of all humanity. Right?
Yes.
So Kaoru pilots Unit-02 and tells Shinji, like, yo, you gotta fight me. Otherwise, all the humans are gonna die. Sorry to put you in this whole situation, buddy, but it's either you kill me or, you all die, right? So Kaoru finally is essentially has to go into this subterranean chamber where he believes that Adam is held, and when he gets down there, he realizes that's not Adam, it's Lilith, the second being that is important to all of this stuff, right? So Kaoru realizing, I can't do my mission now, basically tells Shinji, hey man, you gotta kill me.
You gotta
kill me, because otherwise I'm just gonna go looking for Adam. And you all are gonna die. It's this really fucked up scene of Shinji in his EVA, right? The EVA Unit-01 is holding Kaoru's human body in its hand, and Ode to Joy is just playing in the background. It just stays on that shot. And I remember when I first watched this scene, I was like, I downloaded all of Evangelion. I was like, did my video freeze? Did is the because sometimes you playing on a video player, old computers, you'll hear audio, video just ain't doing shit, right?
Of course.
So I'm thinking that's what's happening, and then right when
that's the most insane. Listen, to play that song during that scene, mad lad.
Because it's like the scene sits for like a minute. Like it's not like a quick 15 seconds and then no, it literally sits there and it's stuck on one frame. And then the unit just closes its hand and Kwaru's dead. Right?
Yep.
Now, mind you, this is the first person that Shinji's ever really been able to make a close personal friendship with. So
he hurt, man.
He's distraught beyond all reason, right? Mm-hmm. So now we have reached the movie. Because Adam wasn't able to be joined with Kwaru, there's an outside force outside of Nerve, the guys that are basically our main focus in terms of a faction here, right? Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, yo, we're gonna start essentially the end of the world on our own, the Human Instrumentality Project. And Shinji is distraught and is like, yo, Asuka. He goes to Asuka, who's comatose, basically.
She's in comatose, and he's just like, yo, please,
please wake up, please. Like, wake up. Anything. And he's shaking her, and her body turns around. She's exposed, and Shinji does a very. Just watch the movie. So
crazy,
anyway,
man. Crazy work.
Just watch the movie. That's not that important, but I can't not mention that, right?
Yeah,
that's it happened.
That threw me off. I think that throws everybody off the first time, man.
And it's just basically to show us that Asuka is knocked the fuck out. Like she literally,
because she would have smoked him.
yeah. She would have knocked his ass out for that, right? Yeah. She's literally comatose, right? So since their base is all basically being under attack, and the people that are attacking them they want to kill the pilots of the Evangelion units, so that way they can't defend themselves.
Yeah.
The major Misato Kasaragi, who is basically the support person for the EVA pilots, makes sure that EVA Unit-02, the unit that Asuka pilots, is placed into the bottom of the lake with Asuka in the cockpit.
Jeez.
Right? Basically, the easiest way they could get her safe and away from all that, right? So we fast forward into some events in the movie, and we eventually get to a point where the paramilitary forces that are attacking Nerve have located the fact that EVA Unit-02 is in the bottom of a lake. So they start to drop depth charges in an attempt to try to blow it up down to the bottom of the water.
Jesus Christ.
And it's at this moment where we're introduced to Asuka as a character of her own agency in the movie, right? She's basically woken up by these explosions. When you're the pilot of an EVA, you can feel the sensations that your unit would essentially be able to feel, because they are living beings. They're not just robots, right? So Asuka's woken up by this, and she's shaken up by the fact that, first off, she has no belief in herself. She's completely broken. She's catatonic, right? Hopeless. And she's sitting there while these bombs are going off around him, just saying, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Give me your take on how that went for you whenever you first saw how this was playing out for Asuka, man.
Bro, I felt bad, bro. It was tough, bro, because I was led to believe she was gonna get smoked.
Yeah.
I was hurt. I was so hurt. This is the most vulnerable she's really been. Essentially, I never would expect it to be just like that. But that threw me off, man. I'm not gonna lie. Just that first 30 minutes of this movie, pain the first time I went out. Bro.
Hell yeah.
Pain, bro. It's just full of despair. It's full of despair. You by any means, if you watch the first half of the movie, there's no way in the world you thought that this could be saved. Everything could be back to normal. Like, I really thought this movie was just about to be a full-on boom. Yeah, I did. This is my ending. This is the alternate ending. Boo.
Yeah.
I really thought so.
And it's wild, man, because, like I mentioned earlier, we are coming off of a very impactful moment for Asuka. When she battled against the angel that basically put her in this state, it caused her to have to relive all of her
old life, essentially.
Yeah, and all of her deeply, buried up traumas, right? This is a girl who has dealt with abandonment issues because of the fact that she witnessed her mother's suicide at a very young age, right? Her mother had, much like the mothers of the pilot of even Shinji here, right? For those that don't know, in Evangelion, the source of power for these Evangelion units is the pilot's mother's soul.
Your mama's soul, crazy in it.
So we have this traumatized mother's soul who's protecting her child, basically, in EVA Unit-02. When you take into consideration that Asuka's father had been unfaithful to Asuka's mother, Asuka witnessed that as a young girl, which then caused her to seek out connections with other people, wanting to be wanted, wanting to feel needed, right? It led to her having abandonment issues all throughout her life.
Yes, essentially, bro. Like, this is a person that's basically afraid, and she comes off as very headstrong, determined, but bro, underneath that, man, she's insecure, man, super insecure, and the fact that she needs to be in the EVA, that's what makes her feel.
That's her purpose. That's her sole purpose.
That says enough. And Ray told her, like, yo, that's not how it's supposed to be. If you watch the series, and like I agreed, but essentially this is her. This is her, man. That past of her, it just really ruined her as a person.
And it really plays out in this because you see that she's in despair, right? She feels like she's got nothing, and she's afraid of even losing her life. And in these moments, she's whispering, "I don't want to die. I don't want to die." You can hear in the background her mother's voice saying, "You're not alone. I'm here to protect you. I'll never let you stay alone. I'll always be with you."
That ain't hard.
I know, right?
Like, man, bro, some lines, man, like, they cut deep, bro. They cut deep. A lot of lines in this movie cut deep.
A whole lot of lines in this whole series, for real.
Absolutely,
in this
man.
whole series, man. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, it's one of those where, if you've got any connection with your mom that's positive at all, like, you feel that, and you can feel where it's like the moment it clicks for her and she's able to hear her mother's voice, right? It flips on a switch, literally. It takes this feeling of abandonment to immediately, she's like, "Mom? Mother?"
Yeah.
And she feels protected and fearless, right? You've got Shinji, who's paralyzed by his fear from this moment of killing Kwaru. And here you have Asuka, who's going through that on her own. And now she's immediately in a moment where she can actively take control of her fate, right?
Yes, that
when you take into consideration. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say a beautiful moment, man. Like you see the genuine happiness in her. She feels very relieved, and for the most part, we all wanted it. I think Hideaki really loved the character. I don't think he got to really show her off in the TV series as much as he wanted to. So he made sure he did his damn thing in the movie. 100%.
Well, see, I was gonna bring that up, right? So I, as an adult, we've both watched this at different parts in our lives, and I feel like I don't really get. Well, okay, no, I didn't really get certain parts of this until now, really, right? When you take into consideration that Asuka is introduced to us as an ace pilot, she's the best pilot. She's piloting the red one, right? Yeah. In the 90s, if you're a mecha fan, you're looking at her and you're like, oh, she's gonna be the best pilot.
Yeah, she's gonna be the ace pilot.
And what happens in the series?
Baby, then
she gets beaten every time. Every time she gets to pilot the EVA, it's always something gets in the way of her being the best. Like she's the best on paper. She's the best on score. She's the best, in class. She's the best with her studies, right? But when put in these actual moments, it's her insecurities that are taken advantage of just based on how these angels work in general, right?
Yes.
And I feel like the fact that she isn't shown to really be a flashy pilot until this moment is since her debut is almost on purpose.
I think it's Ano getting control of finally what he wanted to do, because essentially, for those who don't know, Ano wanted Asuka to be the main character. So with that, his designer told them no, male protag, can't do it, won't work with Asuka, won't work with the female lead, it won't. This is the first time I feel like Ano got full control of the character that he really wanted to start the series with, and it was beautiful.
You can tell that he really wanted to make sure that she showcased as best as possible here, because from the moment she comes out the water, Asuka's a one-woman army. She's taking out warships, she's taking out entire air machine, it's these they're hovercopters that are air turrets and stuff, and all these different tanks.
Crazy, man. She's whooping.
And she's literally telling herself, speaking good in herself, I believe it, I can do this, I can take on this mission myself, right? And she's with my 12,000 layers on my EVA and my AT field, I'm unstoppable. Yes. And really she is, right? The absolute terror field being this, shielding that literally anything they do just cannot touch her as long as she's in full synchronization with her mother's soul. She was unstoppable.
Yeah, she was unstoppable. You were led to believe that this would probably have a happy ending now because she's doing it.
And it's wild because this is the first time you get to see, a human on human type battle, right?
Yeah.
From what you believe, these guys got nothing but tanks and ships and planes and helicopters. They can't touch her.
Yeah, they can't move her, man.
And it's shown in this battle, right? She is at her strongest, most resilient in this moment. This really is her most triumphant battle in the whole series.
Yes.
Right? She's struggling for her meaning up until this point and essentially finds it and is able to feel defined in her existence. It's only until SEELE, the outer group that's planning this entire attack, decides, well, since our militaristic forces can't do it, we have to fight fire with fire. And they then send out their mass-produced Evangelion units. They send out 9 of them. 9. Okay. And the imagery that happens here is, it'll always stand out to me as like, whoa, like this is a death flag for sure, right? Like the 9 Evangelions, they come out of these flight units that look almost like B-2 bombers, right?
Absolutely.
And they drop out of them, and they're these flying units. They've got bird wings on them. They're all white, and they're flying around, wings straight out, not flapping, wings straight out like a vulture.
Yes.
And all 9 of them are flying in a circle around her. And I remember when I first saw that, I was like, oh, she's about to be fucked.
Oh yeah, she's gonna get smoked. You are led to believe that, absolutely.
Because it's like they're literally flying over her, literally like a vulture. Like it's not. I'm not speaking hyperbolic. It's literally the way that they come down around her, and then they drop their wings and they drop to the ground, right? And their wings fold back, and you don't get a chance to see their faces until like the last cut, and you see this like there's no eyes. It's just this mouth with this devilish, like destructive grin. And it's like, oh, that's unsettling as fuck.
Yeah.
Because the movie initially cuts right back to what's going on with Shinji and Misato trying to get him to Unit 1. And it keeps cutting between like, hey, like we've got to make sure that you can go out there and help Asuka, because during her fight with those planes and ships and tanks and whatnot, they got rid of the umbilical cord that's attached to the Evas that powers them. It's basically, it keeps them attached to their battery source. These Evas can't just run on their own, right?
Yeah, that'll work.
And once they're detached from their power source, they've only got 5 minutes before they just shut right down. At best, go berserk, but that's only if they're really lucky, right?
Yeah.
So 3 minutes are left at this point, and she goes, "Oh, I've only got 20 seconds to take out each of them." And she says "Erste" in German, saying first, and it goes right for the first one. And man, I'm not gonna lie,
she was smoking.
She was smoking them boys. She literally goes on like a combo mode of just going one after the other, and they're like trying to fight back, and she's demolishing them. I mean, she's like ripping their heads off.
Kaoru sucks. If that is to be the dummy system.
Because they do have clothes.
He sucks.
Yeah.
He sucks, absolutely. Because Asuka was whooping his behind, bro.
She was demolishing them boys. It really looked for a moment like, oh man, she got it, bro. She got it.
She got it, bro.
She got it, man. And the music is playing this bombastic. You can hear it right now. I know you hear it in the background, right? This music right here is playing through this scene, and it's just so like, it's like, damn, like this is her moment, right? And it's these like serene like compositions that just start playing, right? And it's beautiful in terms of how it sounds, but it's ugly in the brutal graphic imagery that she's, that you're seeing and how she's taking them out, right?
Yes.
It eventually gets down to where she's about to take out like the last one, right? And each of these mass-produced Evangelions has what's referred to as the Lance of Longinus. If you are familiar with biblical lore, that's what they stabbed Jesus with, right?
Yes.
But in this series, that lance is like the one thing. It's like an ultimate weapon. Like it'll stop an angel, an Ava, whatever. You take something out with that, and it's like boom, it works. It just works, right? And you see one get launched right at Asuka, and she holds it back with her angel, and it was just like such a cool ass scene.
Yup.
Until it wasn't anymore.
Oh.
Because then a bunch of lances all get launched at her, and her AT field shuts down as her power runs out. And
Welcome
this
to
fight
Harvard.
right here, this is the moment where it reflects that Asuka, as much as she's finally able to, feel unstoppable, she's immediately back in despair because we see her in the EVA, like just trying to get it to work, just trying to get it to move again, right? And the whole time, the EVA itself is paralyzed. And the mass-produced EVAs all come back to life. They immediately regenerate. And the moment that they see that she can't move, they literally go back into having their wings. They go into the air and come back down on her like vultures.
Like vultures, bro. Just picking, oh man. Again, sick stuff, bro, because they're not pulling no punches with the gore. It is literally like you're watching just an animal documentary.
Yeah, it is. And because the Evangelion is a living being, you see its eye get ripped out from its socket. You see its entrails get taken out. You see its stomach get cut open. It's bad. And like I mentioned earlier, Asuka can feel all of it. And you see her inside the cockpit. She's holding her face. She's holding her stomach, and she's trying to
She's trying her best.
I don't even really enjoy talking about it.
Yeah, because the fight, amazing. This is not a fight anymore. This becomes just a full-on assault. This is just.
I need y'all to understand. This is not one of my favorite fights because of what happens to Asuka. This is one of my favorite battles because of what it emotionally represents. Okay, every other battle we've discussed this season, you can look at it and be like, "That's fucking awesome." I know why y'all like that.
Yes.
For this, you kind of have to take everything into consideration with what this scene is even reflecting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like throughout the series, Shinji at this point is just now getting to his unit and isn't even able to pilot it yet. So he can't come save her, just like she's always internally wanted Shinji to save her.
Yeah.
Just like her Eva is paralyzed, he's paralyzed in self-doubt. So the two things that she's depending on to try to come to help her, she doesn't have.
Yeah.
The mass-produced Evas, they launch all the spears at her, and there's one sticking at her through her gut, and you can literally see her trying to push herself up from it.
Over, bro.
And then a bunch of them just come landing down on her head, and it's brutal. Because that's the first thing Shinji sees when he finally is able to pilot EVA Unit-01.
Boy.
And it sends him into a snap. That ends episode 25 of End of Evangelion right there, right? And it's wild, man, because this is right where Asuka herself dies. It's the snapping point for Shinji. That's what causes him to act, right? But it's everything that's symbolized in the fight between Asuka's struggle for finding her sense of meaning in piloting the EVA, feeling triumphant, that horror of abandonment that she feels at the end just as much as she did in the beginning, right?
Yes.
It really just represents that no matter how much she was able to finally rely on that sense of self, it just wasn't enough.
It wasn't
never
enough.
had a sense of togetherness with other people, right? She never was able to feel that in a real way, and you feel for her because by what we think, this is the end of it for her completely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. The story does go on. Shinji from there, this entire movie goes different.
Yeah, all the way, man.
The second half of this switches between us seeing the events of what's happening with Rei Ayanami, a character who somehow we've not discussed whatsoever at this point. I think that's almost impossible to do. What are you talking about? Neon Genesis Evangelion, right? And it's she is joining with the being Lilith, right? And this ritual begins the third impact. Throughout this moment, basically what happens is that Shinji chooses for all of humanity to resort to being in primordial ooze. Everyone's souls being broken apart individually and all returning to one source. And it's literal. Like it's literally Shinji is able to experience everything that life is about. Joy, pain, love, regret, hurt. And in this moment of instrumentality where Shinji is being guided, he is able to come across these representations of the women in his life, right? Oftentimes, they say that, like, women are represented as the maiden, the woman, and the old woman, right? And that's sort of like the representation that we have, right, between Rei Ayanami, Asuka, and Misato when it comes to how Shinji interacts with them. But Shinji is a person who really has never understood people in general.
Very inept when it comes to social activity.
So in this moment where all souls are this single living consciousness, he kind of witnesses these things that he's never experienced or even considered before, and decides, wait. Actually, I don't know if I want all of us to just not exist anymore, right? Like, I would like to exist again. I would like to return to my physical body. And his mother's soul basically tells him, like, yeah, well, you can return to your physical body if you have the will to, right? Basically stating that because Shinji decided not to go through with all of humanity just always being stuck together, now humanity can go back to being individuals. So this leads to the final scene where Shinji's been rematerialized and he's laying down on a beach, and Asuka is also laying right next to her. Now, a few things got to get communicated. When Shinji had a vision of Asuka while he was a part of all of human consciousness, there was a moment where he comes across this vision of Asuka and he chokes her. Basically acting out of, like, this is his first, like, time of acting out on his feelings and, like, acting out on his impulses, right? He's always held himself back in every situation. And in this moment, in order to feel like he himself is even real, right? He reaches out to Asuka and grabs her by the throat. And it's wild because, like, that, it's almost like representing, like, that's his base emotion, right? That's his base feelings coming out. But in that vision, she's like, you just need to, you want to feel loved. You just want to feel understood, right? And you only want to use me as an escape for your lack of understanding for the world. And it's like that sort of moment that kind of, like, leads to him deciding that he wants to be an individual again. So when he sees Asuka next to him on that beach, he chokes her again. To see if she's real.
Yeah, to see if she's real, man.
And she caresses him on the face, and he lets go.
Yes. Beautiful
And
moment.
the last thing she says is, "How disgusting." Which that line has been psychoanalyzed for the past 18 years in many different ways. I'm not going to add to the pile today.
Yeah, come on. It's
To me, it just is a reflection of human existence, right? It's just like she's disgusted by the fact.
Yeah, she's not like it's just the fact that she's embracing another person.
Yes.
It's like she's not used to it, and as like a child would react like yuck.
Like really, like I just felt for you. Wow, like gross, right? And the story ends from there, right? I implore that anyone who has not watched this movie go watch End of Evangelion now. Like right now. It's on Netflix. The entire series of Evangelion is on Netflix. The recap movie is on Netflix if you feel like you ain't got that time. But hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna watch that recap movie and you're gonna be lost.
You're gonna watch.
Like, don't do it.
Yeah, you might as well just go ahead.
Yeah, watch the 24 episodes, watch this movie, watch them last two, and you know what I'm saying, then do your thing, right?
Yeah, have a blast.
But it's gotta be said, man, like this is humanity, emotion, empathy, and the lack of all wrapped up into like this sequence of events that I feel like even in the past hour and a half that we've discussed it, right, we've only really covered the surface. You know, it's like I can explain these things to you and tell you like, oh, like these are the feelings of meaning that we get when we watch it, and these are the things that, you know, after we've had a chance to really like understand Ano as a creator, this is what we believe that he's intending to portray.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you've never watched this movie, you're gonna come away with your own.
Yeah, you're gonna have your own. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
You are gonna come away like it's because the point of the movie is that we all human. We all have different experiences in this life, and that the way we go about them is individual to us. But how we choose to limit ourselves and come together with other people is what completely adds to what that experience is for us all in all, right?
Yes.
I get choked up every time I really think about Evangelion. I know I'm about to spend the next few days obsessed with this. Even we're watching the Shards counterattack. I'm gonna still have Evangelion in my mind, in how Shards counterattack was like the biggest mecha movie before this, right? And I'm gonna be looking for connections because I know they're there. Like some things I know you can say, oh, it ain't that deep. I'm sorry. When it comes to Evangelion, it's that deep.
Yeah, man, that brain of Ano, and during whatever he was feeling at the time, yeah, a lot of it is deep.
So I want to thank you, Dee, for revisiting this with me, man.
Hell yeah. Always a pleasure.
I would definitely love to get back to it again one day and talk about maybe the rebuild movies.
Oh, absolutely. There's a big portion of anime fans that hate the rebuild, and it's like, okay, whatever. Yes, yeah, man, I love them.
I enjoy something, but like it if you just outright hate it, you're not allowing yourself to fully experience all of Evangelion.
I love it, so I don't know.
Because while it sounds like it's a remake series, it's showing. It's showing. Hell, Final Fantasy VII owes it to the remake.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII owes it to the Rebuild series, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man. But thanks y'all for listening this week. I hope y'all have enjoyed our coverage of End of Evangelion and the battle between Asuka and the mass-produced EVAs. Let us know what y'all think about Evangelion as a whole. If you've been a fan of it for years, if this is your first time really deep diving into it and you didn't know what it's about, hit us up on Twitter. We'll be glad to talk about it with you. Next week, we will continue this mecha train as we go right into Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
And it's gonna be another one of those where we gotta talk about the whole movie to even talk about the battle between Askable and Amuro Ray. Because that generational fight, like that's just basically the last chapter.
That's the last chapter, man.
So we gotta talk about their history and all of that before we even get to that point. And we definitely will be glad to. So make sure y'all tune in next week as we get back on it with Char's Counterattack. But until then, subs lie, dubs lie. We don't, never have, and never will.
Damn right, man.
Y'all tune in next time. We out of here.
Yeah.
Peace.
All at your boys. Us, never them.
Never them.